I'm curious about the state of affairs for relationships in general. Obviously, I'm not.
That's going quickly.
It has, right?
Romantic relationships?
Yes.
That's crazy. I'm boy sober right now. Why you asking me this?
Well, that's what I'm asking. Like,
well, no, I'm not boy sober. If you like me, just say that. Like, tell me.
Just say that then.
If you watching this episode and you like me,
just say that then.
DM me.
But I'm very curious because, like, back in my day, like, I'm an elder.
Not.
But back in my day, like, we met in college, me and Sakina, and like it felt very organic. Like, you ran into each other a bunch of times. We all had the same friend groups. So that was a different time than now, it seems, where it's like when you meet someone, it's in isolation. Like, both people have the mindset of taking care of themselves, and when you have to come together and actually think about somebody else and take care of somebody else, then that's when maybe some conflict happens. And then also because you might not have the same friend groups, then you only see a sliver of the person versus like how they interact with their mom or how they interact with their siblings or how they interact with their best friend. So I'm curious, you being someone who is is a free agent right now.
Yeah, I'm single. That's not. Well, maybe people don't know that. I don't know. I'm not one of those girls that's like hiding it.
They might think you in demand.
Yeah. What's your question?
So what is your perception? Just speaking from the perspective of like women friends who are trying to look for Mr. Right or their Boaz, like what are the major concerns and what are the major issues that are happening and how can people overcome them?
So let me just say, he did not tell me that we was going to be talking about relationships. He used to prepare my mind because I want to know where this is
You don't have
going.
to talk about yours specifically, but just in general.
You trying to do micro research for your next strategy project?
Yeah.
What was your question again? What I think is a state of relationships?
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you from the research perspective. I'm just curious, like anecdotally.
Wow, I haven't thought about that in a minute. The state of relationships are that I think people are becoming very content with themselves, because I think this generation is like getting married at an older age. Mm-hmm. And so we're realizing that, you know, this whole fairy tale life of like, oh, I wanted this, I wanted to be married at 25, or like I have to have the wedding and then I have to have the house and I have to have the thing. Like, that's not the reality anymore. Like, people, like we're all not trying to hold ourselves to this fairy tale dream anymore, and realizing that we can really create our own path, you know? And so I think partnership is gonna look different. People are gonna be getting partnered and coupled at older ages, and they're very content with that.
Yeah.
You know, the state of dating, I think dating is still very ghetto, but
you said there's piss in the pool.
Yeah, but I also do think it's fun too, and fun in that, like, you know, like even for myself, I'll say this, 'cause I actually don't really talk about relationships on like platforms, but I'm okay with saying that I've become a lot more okay with being authentic whenever I date. Like, I'm okay with I actually said this to a friend the other day. I've actually cried on dates.
That's crazy. Wow.
Like, I've cried on dates. I've taken naps on dates. Like,
you just be doing what you want on dates.
Yes. I'm so serious, and it's because like I decided I'm going to be my most authentic self.
But was it
if
like
you don't like
tears?
it, no, it wasn't happy tears. No. So like this one guy, as a part of our date, we went to the bay, and we sat at the bay, like overlooking the water, and we're just like talking.
And the bay is like a waterfront park area near
yeah.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very peaceful and serene.
Yes, and so it was just really, like, it was just really peaceful, really, like, it just felt like a vulnerable moment. So we're just talking about life and whatnot, and then that's when I just remembered my father, and then it just made me really sad. So I just started crying. And he really consoled me in a moment.
Wow.
Yeah, like, that's one thing I've noticed. Like,
he pulled some emotional empathy out of his book bag.
Yeah, like, and that's something that I realized that if I'm going to be partnered for me with the right person, like, vulnerability and being able to hold space for each other is really important to me. And so, like, the fact that he was able to do that without me, like, I didn't ask him for anything. Like, I was just like, F it, I feel the waterworks. I'm about to cry. And I just was crying. And he really held space for me in that moment. And so, like, that's a thing where I'm like, when it comes to dating for me now, it's not going to be this
Stonewall stoic.
Yeah, like, it's not going to be that this is who I am and this is what it is.
Success should be you comparing yourself to who you were yesterday. You can't compare yourself to Oprah, or you can't compare yourself to Issa Rae or all these other people, because each one of them have their own unique journeys, their own unique experiences, their own unique upbringings.
Let me teach you this. Success is not how far you got. Because, see, you're going to be disappointed all the time. Because somebody always further than you. So now you'll forever be disappointed. Success ain't how far you got. Success is how far you got from where you started.
Their path from start to finish is different from where you started and where you finished.
That's your success. That's yours.